Hey, welcome back to Shane's Soldering Station. Before we get into the episode, I want to say when I dropped that short on Saturday, the response was awesome. Awesome. Got 10 new subscribers, put me up to 56. So, here's the thing. Let's make the push to 75. Once I hit 75 subscribers, I'm going to have a special announcement. So, keep that in mind. Once we get to 75, special announcement will be coming. So let's get into the episode here. My past episodes were a bit on the long side, so we're gonna make a little bit of a shorter one and stuff. We're gonna have a little fun. No repairs going on, but we're gonna do a couple mods. Couple mods, kind of not the right thing to say. Putting Hall Effect sticks in my deck and in my Switch. Kind of need them in the Switch. My left Joy-Con's been drifting a little bit. Probably could have cleaned it, but got some new Hall Effect sticks to throw in there, so that'll be pretty cool. And I haven't had my deck for too long, but again, why not throw some Hall Effect sticks in it, right? So we're going to start with the deck first. Let's get it over under the teardown table and get started. All right, so we got the deck on the teardown table. We've got 8 Torx heads to take off here, surround the edges here. So break out the old Fantix screwdriver. I believe we are going to need a TR6 bit for that. Let's see, TR, here we go. And we got to get this back cover off, and then we can get into it. There we go. Alright, after a little futzing around with that, set that aside. Okay. Oh, alright, and see right there, here's our thumbsticks, but we want to disconnect the battery first before we mess with that. We don't need to be shorting anything out while we're doing that, so. Alright. Okay. We've got some little screws down here, some more little Torx screws. And we can remove this case here that covers the battery and the heat tube. This little guy here. There. Alright, so disconnect that cable there. Make this a little bit, excuse me, easier. And then should be able to just kind of flip this. There we go, up. Is she going to go over? Do not need to break anything. Let's see if I can just kind of pull this loose. All I gotta do is be able to pop this. Alright. After a little screwing around. Plus, I looked it up. I did not want to pull on anything or anything that would wreck the battery connection. So, got the battery disconnected. Got the shielding out of the way enough. Now let's get down to putting these bad boys into here. Assuming these will be up, same size. Alright, that was easy enough. And then we can just lift him out of here. Just like that. So let's disconnect that first. There we go. That's the right one out. Let's get these out of the box. There we go. Yep, and they're already marked for us, which is awesome. Okay. Okay. Alright. That all lined up. We can get the screws back in and then plug the ribbon cable back in, and we're good to go on the right side. And I kind of figured you guys would like a little bit of an easier video this time. Not a lot of chaos, no chips popping off the board. Just a fun little, quick little mod. Alright, screws are all in. Let's get this ribbon cable back in. Oh, gotta get that little latch up there. Slide him in. Is he? I think he's in place there. That locked down. Alright. Should be good on that. Now, get the left one done. Alright, now get the battery plugged back in. We can get the heat shield, this little protective thing, put back down, put the case back together, give it a test, and check out those new sticks. Alright, all the screws are in. Let's test it out. Sticks, oh, they feel nice. Alright, let's fire it up.
Target acquired.
Alright, I think we're good to go. Alright, so the Steam Deck is all done. Got those new sticks in there, they work great. Got the switch down here. Let's pop these Joy-Cons off, get these new sticks installed, and give it a test. Let's get down to it. Alright, so pop the Joy-Cons off first. There we go. We'll start with the red one. Alright, we got these 4 little tri-wing screws to get out. Alright, now that those are out, we can pop the case apart. Just gotta get fingernails in there. There we go. Just gotta be careful when we're doing this. There are some ribbon cables that will be attached when we get her apart here. Alright, there we go. There we go. Easy does it. There. Alright. Yeah, you can see I got these ribbon cables. We're not gonna have to worry about those. Let me get a pry tool because we got to pop that battery out of there. Just do this gently. We don't want to wreck anything. Just got to pop the battery loose. There we go. I can move that out of the way. And then we got these 3 little Phillips head Phillips heads there we got to take out. Alright, those are out. We can move the antenna up and out of the way here. There we go. Let's tuck that under the battery. And this little carriage should lift out. There's going to be another little ribbon cable right down here. Sorry about that. Let me get this centered a little bit more for you. Alright, this little guy in here, we're going to have to get him out of there. Get that little release tab up. Just got to be careful not to wreck the ribbon cable. There we go. Alright. A little fussing, but we got her, and there we go. That just comes free like that. Set that aside. And there we have our thumbstick right there. And we got to release this other little ribbon cable. Flip that up like that. Now we can take these 2 screws out and take this thumbstick out of here. There we go. Oops. Alright, let me grab that little screw here. Where did that other one go? Now, there we go. We can get the thumbstick out of here. Oops. Once we get the ribbon, there we go. There we go. Okay, thumbstick is out. There's our other little screw. Alright, old thumbstick out. We got GuliKit Hall Effect sticks for this, and that was the same for the deck. I will leave links in the description so you can go check those out. Alright. And then what's nice is we've got the different colored tops. So I think I am going to match the colors up with these. That's pretty cool. Alright. So let's get those in. Okay, are these... I don't think these are marked now. So we just got to put him in there. Oop. First, let's see, he's just a little rubber boot. Let me get, there we go. Let's get that all settled on there, right? Nice. Yeah, that's going to look really cool. Alright, let's get that in here. Go. Alright, I think that's in there. That little tab will lock her down. Alright. Get thumbstick in. Alright, let's get these screws in. Alright, now we just gotta get everything popped back together here, and this one should be good to go. There we go. All right. That feels really good, and that's cool. That looks great. Alright, let's get the rest of these screws in. Alright, there. Red one's all put back together. Everything feels good. Got lights going on there, so didn't screw anything up there. we'll test her when we get the blue one done. So now, you see me take apart the red one, get all the way down to the thumbstick on that, so I'm not going to record me doing all that with the blue one. I'll come back when we're ready to take the stick out of the blue one. So, back in a few. Okay, so I got the blue one tore down to getting the thumbstick out, so let's get this one out, get this one replaced, we'll get them all back together, good for testing. Alright, first, gotta get that ribbon cable out of there. Flip that little guy up. And then we can take the screws out. Oh boy, that one's going to be a little difficult to get to, huh? Alright, well, just have to disconnect this ribbon cable so we can pull that out. Careful pulling these guys out of here. Come on. Here we go. Alright, that can flip up so I can get to that screw. Just gotta hold that like that. There we go. Alright, now we can just pop this guy out of here. Just like that. Oh, don't rip that rubber boot. And that ribbon cable, there, just slide out. And that's our old one. And here's our new one. Got the blue top on it all ready to go. Alright. There we go. That in there. Gotta get this ribbon cable. Just be careful with these things. Alright, did not want that falling out, but that's not a big deal. There we go. I gotta slide this one under there. Come on, there we go. Just pop under that one. There we go. All right. Well, all right, blue one's done, red one's done. Let's, they feel great. Let's throw them on the switch, see what they do. All right, console here. Let's make sure we turn it the right way, right? All right, red on, one on. Let's fire it up. Alright, look at that. Everything seems to be doing pretty good here. Awesome sauce. Love it. And I got the new sticks on there. That's great. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I was just imagining things. Okay, everything's looking good with these sticks. The Steam Deck was doing good, so alright. Mission accomplished. Well, there you go. Got the Hall Effect sticks installed on the deck and the Switch. They work great. That's awesome. I cannot wait to play some games on these to really give them a test run. So I'll let you know how that goes on Facebook. I'll probably put a post up or something. So Couple things before we go though. The part 2 on the game on my brother's Game Gear. It's going to be put on hold for a little bit thanks to a tip from a viewer, Trimzy. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He informed me that Retro 6 is coming out with a newer board for the Game Gear, so I'm going to wait till that comes out and then I'll order that one. And then again, let's make that push to 75 subscribers, and then you get to find out what that special announcement's going to be. So until next time, let's keep that solder flowing, and I'll see you on the next one.